Welcome back to the channel. Well, I hate being bearish, but it is another bearish day, I'm afraid, and significantly today, and it's exactly what we expected and exactly what we spoke about in the longer video that we put out yesterday. So before we start and looking at the charts, I just want to say we've got a few extra visitors today from the BBS community, and I'll just give a shout out to Salim Ashraf for Maya CB, MGY, Nitron, FT here, NFT here, Bull, and Grandira. So welcome to the show, guys, and also a special shout out to Banana Man, who always leaves comments and positive comments, so thank you for that. And we're going to go over some requests as well today, so let's have a look at Bitcoin first and then we'll do some requests. We said that we had to hold this level yesterday, and we did not have the bullish action that we expected yesterday, unfortunately, and today's been even worse. So we got the close below this zone here, which indicated more bearish action, and we've slammed straight through the top area of our support here, and we've slammed straight through the bottom area of support, and we're actually if we get a close below here, we're likely to come down and see levels of 28,962 and test those. In fact, it's probably quite likely that we do see that. So you see the big green volume candle, and we get a big green volume candle here, indicates the strong bullish sign, while we've got an absolutely massive bearish candle here, and it's exactly what we expected when we come back out of this range, retested it, and then come back down and got the negative reaction. So it's not great news in the markets today, unfortunately, but it is as we expected. So that's Bitcoin. If we have a quick look on the lower time frame, we'll see if there's any indication of any kind of reversal, and we're right smack in the middle of the lows of the day at the moment. So we're currently at 30,720 with Bitcoin, and not much buying action. You see we've got huge bearish action here, selling the market, absolutely slamming the market down there. We haven't got any green candle to reverse that. So the area that you would like to see some kind of reversal would be the 31.5 area, the 31 area, and you can see we haven't seen the buying action that we'd expect here at these levels. So it is likely that we are going lower to test these levels from back in June last year, I believe it was. Go back on the daily chart and we'll just check when the lows were, and yeah, it was here. So it was 23rd of June 21, the lows last year, and unfortunately we are coming back to test those levels. So if we break and close below those lows, then it's pretty much game over short term as far as the market's concerned, and then selling may walk away would have played out exactly as what we'd been talking about previously. So we were talking about weakness here in the market, and we said as soon as we got this close below here, that was it, that's time to get out at these levels. At the very best, you'd be coming back and retesting this area. We weren't getting any positive confirmation, so it was likely that we were going to come down these levels. I just didn't expect it to be that straight. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-day bearish candles that pushed the market straight down, and we're currently testing the lows here. So not great news as far as the market's concerned, and we all know that this is the market cap leader, and when this bleeds, everything else bleeds. With the exception of the odd couple, you know, there's about 15,000 tokens in existence, so you get the odd couple that do run, but pretty much when Bitcoin bleeds, the market bleeds. It's the market cap leader, so not a great time for Bitcoin. So we'll have a quick look. So Salim Ashraf has asked for Solana and Sheep, so we'll go over that. Right, okay, Solana. Got a little bit of support where we're at now, not much, and we're likely, in fact we said yesterday, if we don't hold this level, we're likely to come back down and test 57, so we're more than halfway. Nearly 2/3 of the way from the previous level of previous support, which is now becoming resistance. So we're likely to come back down and test these levels 57.34. So the lows back here before we had the big pump in Solana. get, we're already breaking below that. So like we said in yesterday's video, we're likely to come back, and we're going to be testing this 57 range. And so where I mean, this is going back in May 20, just before the May dump in 2021. So you've got to remember that this was an absolutely huge pump that Solana had here, and it's got a lot going for it. It's got a lot of development on it. It's an absolute brilliant layer 1 project, but we had this massive bull run back up in May 2021, and then we had the May crash in 2021, and Solana's cooled off, and then we had you had your big break and the close above, and then from there it's just completely ripped. I mean, look at this. You've got no area of support and resistance here being built up. And then you had this, which we were speaking about, where you've had no areas of support and resistance being built up. So what you want to see at these levels is this, so price can react and find out what level it should be. And as this is happening, the buy and sell orders are coming in here. It's creating additional support or resistance at later levels. So if you imagine that this is an area where price is stuck and there's been a lot of trading action, this is the area where psychologically people are looking for to take profits or to act as support if they're going long. So it's important that you do have this, and without that, it turns out that this is pretty much no man's land, and ultimately what you end up with is a big range in market where it establishes itself, and it'll either go one of two directions. It's either going to go up and then act as support and then back up, or it's going to go back down, act as future resistance, and then tumble back down. So that's Solana. And just to confirm, I don't think that I'm not putting any buy level. I'm not putting any short-term long levels on there, because ultimately I'm bearish and I'm looking for opportunity at the moment. So I'm not going to try and get Solana at lower levels. So if I was looking at dollar cost averaging in using our dollar cost average at support strategy with additional rules, and go back and watch the video if you haven't, because it's got additional rules in addition to that. So I'd be looking at incrementally dollar cost average in now at these levels, which would be 56, and then next level 42, and level after that would be 28. So we're back at the lows after the May crash if that happens. So we'll have a look at SHIB now. What we'll do on SHIB is we'll add in our support and resistance lines, because I haven't charted this one before, so we'll just add some areas in there. You've got a main one here. So it hasn't had many areas to build up SHIB. It's absolutely rocketed though during this bull run and made massive gains. Going backwards at levels here of it's difficult to do it when it's in such a small denomination, because there's that many tokens that are in circulation on this. There's so many to even, I don't even know what the number is. There's so many in circulation that it's got such a low actual buy price on there, which entices people in, unfortunately. But what did it manage to get to? 0.00007934 was its top. So levels of resistance now to look out for. Did we build up any here? No. Looks like we're going back down to these levels here, which is let's have a look. Doesn't look much, but that's a 34.79% drop from where it is now. I think that's where it's going. Personally, not financial advice, but there's no areas that's being built up at these levels to provide to provide any support, and it's quite a risky project, so it's something that possibly people will be looking to come out of into more safer assets. Right, okay, this one's BSW by MGY in the BBS community, in the BBS banter community. Have a look. Don't know what this is, guys, just to let you know, this is just a request. So this was the important shelf. Doesn't look like it's been going long, this one, so we'll go in the 4 hour. Right, okay. It's going lower by the looks of it, and it's got quite a long distance to fall as well. So right, next level of support's more going to be a zone rather than a level, so it's going to be in the range of see how we get a reaction here. So this is 78 cents it's trading at the moment. We've got next level of support at 76 cents, so another 2 cents down. So we'll see how price reacts at this level, and it's ultimately going to depend on Bitcoin whether it's going to go test the lower end of this band here and see a bit of reaction there, try and get a higher high, higher close candle, and then see if we could see some kind of a reversal to come back and test these levels here. But that's only if Bitcoin makes a run, and it's looking quite weak at the moment. So I think it's coming back down, testing these levels, and these are the levels that you want to hold. If you don't want to hold, if you're not holding these levels, it's going straight back down to 59 in my opinion. So that's BSW. MGY, let me know what BSW is. Have a look at ETH next. Right, going back on the daily. Oh, that's nasty. So see at these areas here, you've got the buy in action. Although that's a red candle, that's a bullish candle, because it's the bears have pushed price action right down here, and there was a sell wall here, and the buyers have managed to push it straight back up nearly to the candle open. So although that is a red candle, that's a bullish candle, and you had indecision here, but here at these levels is where you get these big volume candles, and the bulls have pushed it down. It's been met by a massive huge buy wall, and the bulls have pushed it straight back up again. We haven't got any of that at these levels here, which just shows weakness. So if you keep treading on it, it's going to pull through eventually. So level we need to hold on Ethereum is 2150, and we're going to quite low levels unfortunately if we don't hold that. Let's have a quick look on the weekly chart on Ethereum and see where we're at. So yeah, we are 1700. Doesn't look much there, but %. That's more than 22% actually. From where price is now, 24.5%. To come back down, so we need to stay above the 2175 level on Ethereum. Right, Luna. We said exactly this was going to happen yesterday. Go back and watch the video, guys. So we've seen the strength here. Push market back up, and we've held trend here. Yesterday we were saying we couldn't break and close below this trend, and we didn't. We were pushed back in. We were met with strong selling action with Bitcoin, which is exactly what we talked about. And these levels here, where you get a huge pump on the wave 3, and then when you get exhaustion at these levels, indicates weakness, and you're coming back, and these are the key levels here, whether you hold your high or low. If you can't hold your high or low, then you're in a reversal trend, that's signaling reversal, and the market's going to end up going like this, create like a head and shoulders pattern, and then downwards action. So weakness in Luna, it's absolutely rocketed Luna as well, so what goes up comes down, and huge downside it's got Luna. However, the project's absolutely brilliant in my opinion. It's got a lot going for it. They're doing well as far as doing things to stabilize the tokens concerned by buying assets such as Bitcoin and more stable assets, as well as the Luna token to prop it up. So they're doing good things, and they'll be one of the successful ones, in my opinion anyway. But Luna, we don't want to be closing below. Oh, we tested that level as well already today, so this is the weekly chart as well, so this is the big strong chart, the weekly, and 43.34. So hope we don't close below that, because we're testing it. Right, I'll do AVAX, and then I've got a couple of requests from Rana, GRT and HNT and Dot and Link. I'll do AVAX first. It's got a few more levels actually that we can build in on top of this. Just at the time when we were charting it, we didn't expect it to come this low so quick, so it's had a couple of additional areas in here where the sticker point to where prices reacted, and we've got that level in. Right, so AVAX. It was looking like we were going to have a bullish diversion earlier on, but the price action slammed straight down with it, so we could potentially get a diversion on the stochastic in the short range, but the chances are the stochastic is going to come back down again into the oversold regions here, and it'll cancel out any divergence. So short term AVAX, we're looking at testing $38, currently at $44, which is a decrease of 13%. Come back and test these levels, even come back to test these levels really, which is the lowest, previous lows, which is $32.71. So just to clarify, I'm not trading at the moment, I'm just looking for opportunities for entry points for certain things, and it's not the ones that I've gone over today. I'm looking for entry points at certain stable assets, which is predominantly Bitcoin, to be honest with you, at the moment. Unless something goes really cheap and I've got a lot of belief in there and I can get it at rock bottom prices, then I'll look at dollar cost average and in at entry levels of support in line with our DART strategy. So I'm just looking at these levels now, so just an example, I'd be buying a small amount at this level here, a small amount at this level here, a small amount at this level here, wait until the market creates something like this, which is quite likely. Wait until we find a bottom, we ultimately find a bottom wherever that may be, and then you'll find that the market will do this, which is just a ranging market, and that happens mainly in bear markets. So you'll get a ranging market, and once we know where the bottom is of the ranging market, we know that we can just keep buying at that level, and just keep buying at that level, but on the way down we're buying at levels of support, and we're buying at levels of support once the price action is more than 50% below its all-time high. So it means that we can never buy a high ever again. So that's one strategy that we're looking at on the channel. And then once it has made its base, buying at these levels and offloading at these levels, small amounts at these levels, small amounts in at these levels. It's quite powerful when it compounds towards the end of the range, and it's not necessarily the bottom there. I'm not giving it a good example here because we're going into minus numbers, but this literally is just I'm just showing you an example. But when the market stops ranging, you get the ultimate crash down, everyone's out, the whole market's out, and then you'll get the reversal and you can start a new run. This will act as support, and then you'll get the big run up. But ultimately what we want to do is we want to catch at this level, we're catching all the way down, bringing the average down and bringing the average down, and once you've got a base price for the average, whatever that may be, then you're looking to continuously bring it down in a range. So the idea is when you come back down to test these levels again, you've offloaded a little bit at these levels and you're buying back at these levels, only small amounts, you're bringing your average down by that action there, and you've established the top of the range. You know where the top of the range is. In a ranging market, it's relentless. You're just going to you've got loads of advanced patterns within certain areas, and it's just absolute relentless. So the advanced pattern traders are the ones that are successful in a ranging market. But you keep offloading at these higher levels once you've established that, and buying it at the lower levels, you're bringing your average down each time you do. And although that you're expecting this ultimate capitulation, what you're doing is giving yourself time in the market. And once you come back to these levels and once you've got another run, you don't get these chances ever again. Certainly don't get these because they're capitulation events and they're designed to wipe everyone out. So as long as you're holding at these levels and you get an opportunity to come down here, great, bring your average down, and you get the ultimate run, support. And then when the market hits 50% below its all-time high again, we're not allowed to buy, we're not allowed to enter, and then we turn to the bull strategy and the exit strategy after that. So that's AVAX, and we do GRT for Rana now. This is a nasty one. I've got on the 3-day chart. Major area at the moment. So why do you think this is the major area, guys? This zone here. You had the big pump up that you always get on the launch of the DEX. Come down. And this is what I was talking about before, the area where you're going to end up with support and resistance at a later date. So there's lots of trading action in there. It's not lots of trading action, but it's as much as there is on this chart. So you've got the pump up, a little bit of complement here, so you've got a bit of an area here. Oops, didn't draw that very well. So you've got a bit of an area there, and then you've had the huge run up, and this area here hasn't had any time to make any support or resistance, so that's why we've gone straight up, missed this area, straight down, just completely ignored that area, and you see that this is what happens. And the same happened in Solana as well. So we shot up too high, didn't get to make any support and resistance levels, we've overshot this, and then this just didn't exist, straight back down. Ranging market now, broke the ranging market, weakness, and we're going to be testing lower levels again by the looks of it here. So the area on GRT Rana is 23 to hold, and we've got a lot more weakness in this area here than what we did here, because that was positive. You've got a lot of bullish action on the 3-day chart. Bulls have managed to push that up, indicated by the big wick, and then you've had this. So we could potentially see the opposite here. And just because it launched, what did it launch at? 3 cents. What was its highs? 288. Wow. I think it's fundamentally a good project. I don't know too much about that. You'll have to let us know, Rana. HNT. God, I hate to do this to you guys. It's all we've had is bullish, bearish lately. Can't wait to see some bullish price action. So stick a range in here. I've got the positive buying action, positive buying action, positive buying action, and then it drags it down, drags it down, drags it down, and it's dragged it down at this level, big bear candle, and then you had the reversal there where you got the higher close from here and it continued its run. So this area here is our area of interest, and this is the area we don't want to see a close below. So a close below $8.56, we'll be looking at testing level 4 area here as well, 649 and 467. On helium. Has anyone bought helium? Let me know. And let me know what levels you bought it at as well. Big bearish price action. Establish the base there. We want a double bottom as a price confirmation. Some kind of a higher high, higher close candle past here. And you want, this is the previous swing low. You want to break the previous area of support and resistance indicated by the swing low here, and come back, test this area here, support, and then carry on. You're not going to get that in as far as the price action is telling us at the moment. That's not a likely thing to happen. So you'd have to break through all this price action here that's happened here, break through all these sell orders here, and then you've got to continue up higher to get to past this previous high. Test that as support and then continue for any kind of reversal. You'd like signal by some kind of a head and shoulders, some kind of reversal, act as support, and then straight back up again. But it's looking quite weak, unfortunately, on helium. I've said that about everything though. Hopefully I'm wrong. Dot. We were talking about DOT before, all-time high of $55 and it's currently at $11, so cheap. And we were talking about this in our buy strategy as well, and also the Fibonacci strategy as well, that we were adding different areas of support and resistance that act as additional confluence. So you can use, as an example, fixed range from a certain area, and you get the price, the biggest sticking point that price actions had during that area. So I'll just pull it here, and what this does is you've got your Fibonacci levels which will act as confluence, you've got your zones of support and resistance which act as additional confluence, and then you have whatever else it may be, whether it's a fixed range indicator such as this, which it's saying that this is the biggest sticking point of price action during this area of trade in here, the box that I've just drawn. And you can see that price actions come down, tested here, stayed around this range, come back, acted as resistance, resistance, pulled through, support, support, straight down, resistance, and then we're back into these areas here. So you can see why this is the biggest sticking point there during that range, and it's quite powerful if you add that with your lines of support and resistance and your Fibonacci levels as well, especially when you get an area like this where they all match up. You can see the buying action there, and you can see that we've added our support and resistance level here, and you can see that it confirms with a 382 level, and you can see how price actions absolutely reacted perfectly to that level as additional resistance. So we were talking about the dollar cost strategy at support. So we had the first rule, which is we're not allowed to buy below 50% from its all-time high. So our entry points are not allowed to be below 27.50. Yeah, 27.50. So and then we'd be able to look at support at 27.50. There's no support at 27.50, but there is support at $23. So here would be an entry point for us. And then we're not buying at these levels again here, unless we couldn't manage to buy at these levels because there was our buy orders didn't get filled. It was too quick bullish momentum, and then we can get them filled here at these levels. But otherwise, we're sticking with the buy zone 1 incremental, and then we'd be looking at these levels here. And then we're not looking at these levels here because we're waiting for price action to hit support, and we're not actually buying at resistance, so we'd miss that. And then we come down. We've already bought here, so we're leaving at this level, and then we'd be coming back down at these levels. So we're actually hitting our first buy zone at the moment, which is, well, we've hit our first buy zone actually, which was 14.12, and we're currently coming and testing 10.56 now. So if we hit the 10.56, this is just an example, guys, as well as I'm not doing this. This was just an example. So we're coming down and you're testing these levels here, 10.56, and if we manage to get positive reaction, brilliant. If we get a negative reaction, we're coming down, and we'll be going for the $6.02, and as indicated there. So from 55 to $6.02. And we know DOT's got a lot of fundamentals, good fundamentals behind it. Right. Got a couple of levels here. Do or die. Well, I hate being bearish, guys. Right, link. Stick a couple of resistance lines up there as well. That's the first one. That'll do. We'll be lucky if we get through those. Right, okay, link. Fell through this area here, and this is the zone that we've seen a lot of buying action before. So whereas you've got, we talk about these capitulation wicks which end up with something that looks like that overall, and this is the higher time frame chart, don't forget. Well, this is similar here, where you've got the big bear candle pushing it down, which was reacted by a higher high, higher close, bullish reversal candle, which done exactly the same thing. It's pushed price action back up again. So if you imagine all that has pretty much happened within that, apart from in a different time frame. So you've got your big bear candle, it was met by a massive reaction by the bulls, and they've pushed the price higher. Whoops. They've pushed the price higher than what the bears could push the price lower. And then what that does ultimately, it comes back, the bulls are testing this level here, and what it does is it gains the interest of the bulls at this level here, to say, look, we've had this big massive candle here on the three daily. If we can do that on the daily, it's showing you that quite a lot of people are interested at these levels, and it's a good entry signal for them. So fundamentally they think that it's going to go a lot higher, so they all buy in at these levels. Whereas if you just had the weaker candles, they'd probably wait and see what happens and whether we got the the buy-in action before they do anything or implement the strategy. So it signals that people are bullish in these areas, and this is where we get in this is why we have this zone of support and resistance, and where we had the strong bullish candle there, we've got the reversal here, which is the strong bearish candle, and the bulls have got not a cat in hell's chance here at the moment. On Chainlink we're looking at 779 and then levels of 651. So alright, if you're DCN and you believe in Chainlink. So there was one more actually. What was it? B Cube Mayor CB from our BBS community. I couldn't find it on the charts. I couldn't really find it against wrapped Ethereum, but we'll have a look on CoinGecko for you. And I looked at it, and it's going back all time, not long. What's that? 7th of June. So it's not even a year old this yet. So it's reached highs of 55 cents and we're currently at 10 cents. So it's dropped quite a lot, 80%. It's quite difficult to chart it on CoinGecko, but what's the lows here? The lows there are 9999. So we're currently nearly testing the lows of 999. We don't want to break and close below this. Otherwise, we don't know where we're going to go because we've got no price action to tell us at these levels previously. Oops. So yeah, I'm not sure. Let me know what that is actually. Let me know what BQ is, Mayor CB. Yeah, interested. What's it? Oh, artificial intelligence. Nice. Let me know what that is anyway. I'm not shilling anything. Anyway, let's have a quick look at Bitcoin again before we go. See what. Nah, we haven't got that big, massive bullish candle reversing it, guys. We'll have to see what we're going to do when we test these levels here. I had a buy order filled at 31.5 earlier, which was just coinciding with this level here. I had a buy order filled at that, but it was only a small investment buy order, so that's in line with our dollar cost average at structure support strategy. So that got filled, and I'm looking at 29 on the next level. It looks like 28 actually, 28.962, pretty much 29 at the next level. But what we were talking about before, this is the 27 all-time high, right? I'll just show you. This is the 27 all-time high, and actually let me. That was a massive sell wall because it's on the 3-day obviously there, so the massive sell wall there which pushes it into a deep bear market, and this is what I was telling you earlier. You want to be dollar cost averaging right there actually, let me show you properly. You want to be dollar cost averaging, so 50% below all time high, so we're at all time high of 20,000, call it. So you can't be at less than here, the 10,000 level. Right, we're not interested below this level here. This is just an example. We're not interested above this level here. And we made a base here. And this is what I was previously explaining earlier on, is we want to be buying, or I will be buying when we get to levels of strong support here, which would be the 6,000 level. We don't know that this is a range yet because we're just starting in the bear market, so we're waiting for it to bottom. It's come up, and as far as we know, we don't know anything yet. we're coming back down, we're testing these areas here again, and you start to see this pattern. Now, when we get these lows here, you can confirm that you're in a range there. So you start cottoning on about it at these levels here, and you might get to load some of these levels, because we know that we've automatically loaded these levels here. Price has reacted. We could load at these levels here, offload, and then load back again at these levels, and you see these little bits of price action here. So this is exactly what we were saying literally earlier on in this video, is you're going to get the range, and then you're going to get the big dump, everyone's out the market reverses, and then once you break this range here, and that acts as support, you can carry on your run. And you'll get that. So when you're looking at it on the higher time frame, see what ultimately is happening here, guys. I mean, you've bought. This is where everyone's interested. This is where you need to change your mindset. All the good news is happening here. I don't know why that's not working. All the good news is happening here. Toolbar's not working. All the good news is happening up here, and everyone's in the news. Everyone's in the news. Price actions come from $3,000, and it's moved its way all up to $20,000 within such a short space of time, and it was a lot lower before then even. So it's done that, and people are all interested at these levels here. So everyone's buying at these levels, and this is where all the liquidity is in the market. All the altcoins are booming, and everybody wants it. Nobody cares about this now. Nobody cares about this now at all. And we're in the same state at the moment in the market, is we're making new lows. Nobody's interested in crypto, where, like, again, it's not financial advice. We know crypto could boom to zero tomorrow, people say, but it's why don't you buy stuff at 20p rather than $6, or 20 cents rather than $6? It's why doesn't nobody want it at these levels here and these levels here? I mean, at the moment people are struggling to afford things, so we know why people don't want in at these levels here, is because there's not enough liquidity in the market. There's not enough. The Fed are trying to take money out of the market. Everyone's trying to take money out of the market, and after all the years of dollar printing over the course of the last few years, and they're stopping all that now. It's taking liquidity out of the market, so things can't go up, and inflation's sky high, so the price of everything else is going up, and it's just why would this market just all of a sudden just go upwards like that? I don't understand, when there's not enough money for it to, unfortunately, in my opinion. But I mean, hopefully we'll get a bit of positive news towards the end of the year, and we might see some kind of a signal. But we've got to take advantage of these levels, change your mindset, and incrementally, small amounts. Don't put in anything that you can't afford to lose. Just small amounts at these levels, and when you're buying small amounts at these levels, and this happens, you give yourself the edge before price action's even at its all-time high. We're not allowed to buy below this level here. So look, this level here acts as support at this level here. How early is that? That's 23rd of July 2020, where at worst case scenario we bought the 50% level and stuck at the 50% level and didn't buy anymore, which would go against the strategy. At worst case scenario, in the 23rd of July, we'd be constantly in profit forever. Well, I shouldn't say that actually, because who knows, price might do that, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely. So I've got to emphasise again, it's not financial advice. It's just my rant with inflation and deflationary assets. So we know that Bitcoin's a deflationary asset. There's only 21 million that's ever going to be in circulation, and there's currently about 19 million in circulation. So it's psychologically, people think, oh, look how much Bitcoin's going up, look how much Bitcoin's going up, look how much Bitcoin's going up, where it's look how much the dollar's going down, look how much the dollar's going down. It's, you need more dollars to buy Bitcoin because Bitcoin's a deflationary asset and the dollar's an inflationary asset. So if you print 40% more dollars and Bitcoin's more expensive, it's because there's more dollars. It's going to keep inflating and inflating. And if you had $10,000 in existence and the year after you had $9,000 in existence, then your dollars would be worth more. But because you've got $11,000 or $12,000 as examples in existence, it's actually worth less. So if you've got £10,000 in your bank or $10,000 in your bank, and you've got inflation that's run 7% and 10%, which is 17% over 10 years, you've got 17% less money in your $10,000, or your $10,000 can buy 17% less worth of assets. So that's why they call it the ultimate hedge in inflation. And you just got to be sensible, really. I'm not looking to buy. I got the little sell order at 31.5 and the buy order at 31.5 earlier, and I'll be looking to buy smaller amounts at these levels of structure here. But ultimately, if it does come down and crash, it's a bit of a bonus. If you can get Bitcoin at these levels of 21,000, what people are saying, and you've got nothing here, which has been able to build up to create additional support during these levels, why can't it? But it's just my opinion. It's just a story that the charts are telling you, and people chart differently. It's when you look at straight candlestick action and price action and support and resistance, and add up additional confluence, you can see when there's weakness in the market. You can see there's weakness in the market here. We managed to create the new big high, but it wasn't a big high, it was just a little high. And then, although you had this area here acting as confluence for a future date, which will probably be resistance at a later date rather than support, which we'd have hoped if it had carried on up here. This upwards rising channel was ultimately bearish, coming down from a down move, up and down, whereas this one here was more bullish because it's pushing us down. Price action is pushing us down like a spring until you make the bottom, and then you ultimately get the higher high, and you can carry on your journey. That's as support, and you can carry on your journey. So hope you like that, guys. Charts are a bit of a mess now. Leave what altcoins you want me to put in the comments, and I'll give you a shout out as well, guys. Thank you for all your support. We've hit over 500 subscribers now. Absolutely over the moon with that. So take care. Sorry I couldn't bring you any better news. Enjoy Tuesday. Hopefully a bit more buying action tomorrow, but we're probably coming back to test these levels. Take care of yourself, guys. Many thanks.